Okay, we're going to attempt to draw figure 654 finger guide. First thing we need to do is calculate our working area, our spacing. The overall length or width of this object is 4 1/8. So I got me some scratch paper to do some calculations on. The depth is 2 1/4. And we said that we were going to use a 1 inch space between our views, our top view and our front view, and between our front view and our side view. So we'll add this up, and you will get 3/8, 7 3/8, and our working area is 10 1/2. So I subtract that. I get 3 1/8, which is divided by 2 will be 1 9/16. So we're going to, our spacing will be 1 9/16 from the side. Alright, now our height for our object is 1 1/2. So we add 1 1/2 to our depth, which is 2 1/4, which will give us 3 3/4, and we subtract that from 7 5/8, which is our working area, which will give us you have to give me a minute on doing the math in my head. 13/8 minus 6/8 would be 7/8. And 6 minus 3 would be 3. Oh, I left out something. We have a 1 inch space here also. So that would be 4 3/4. And that would be 2 7/8, which would give us half of that would be 1 7/16. So 1 7/16 from the bottom and 1 9/16 from the side. Let's start with that. 1 7/16 from the bottom and 1 9/16 from the side. I may have to draw this a little darker than I really want to in order for you to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, our object, as we said, was 1 1/2 tall and 2 1/4 long. I'm going to actually just block this out to begin with. 1 1/2 tall and 2 1/4 long. No, that's not right. 4 1/8 long. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to go to my next step, which it tells us that this area here is 15/16. 15/16, and it also tells us that the height of this is 3/4. So I'm going to mark both of those and draw those in. Go back and fix my mess up on the beginning. Alright, what we're going to do next. This line here is going to be 1/4 from the back. But we do not know the top of that line because it does not go all the way to the top. So let's draw it in lightly for now. 1/4 from the back. We're going to lightly draw that line in. And it tells us that this line is 1 7/8 from the front, or from the right side, not from the front. 1 7/8. Which is here. So I'm going to go back and darken a few of my lines. Find me a pencil in a minute that I like to use. Okay, let's put in our center line, which it tells us the center line is 1 1/8 from the front, or not the front end, from the right side. So that's where it goes. And remember, center lines do not stop at your object lines, and they are drawn long, short, long. Alright, that's the center. It tells us that the space in between here is 3/4, so that would actually be the diameter. So our radius would be 3/8 of an inch back from our center line. So let's draw that. 3/8, and this would be drawn as a hidden line, so it would be short dashes. Okay. That's about as far as we can go with that view. So let's go to our side view. All right, we're going to move over 1 inch and do our side view. And I drew that line too long, or too dark to start with, and our depth is 2 1/4. Okay, our drawing also shows us that this angle starts 7/16 of an inch down from the top, and it's at a 30-degree angle. So we're going to come down 7/16 and put a mark on both sides. And we're using our 30-60 triangle. We're going to draw in our 30 degrees, and as I said before, I drew that line too dark to start with because it doesn't go all the way to the top. And I should be using a brush to do that brushing off. So our next step, I've actually got this object made out of wood, and looking at it from this side, I cannot see that line in the back. It's going to be a hidden line. But our drawing tells us that it's 3/8 of an inch from the front edge. So we're going to measure over 3/8 of an inch. And this will be drawn as a hidden line. And as we said before, or I said before, I didn't know where that other part stopped, but now I do. It stops here. And I could have put this in earlier, but I did not. We'll go back and darken my lines now. Okay, that's the way your front view will look, and let's go ahead and put this line in, which is going to go all the way across. Alright, it tells us that we have a 5/16 spacing or starting place for this angle coming across here, and then 7/16. So let's go ahead and mark those. 5/16. Let's just mark the 5/16 first. 5/16, then 7/16, and then we would do 3/4. That's correct. And then 7/16 again. Then 5/16. I made a mistake on this one. I knew it didn't look right. Let's go ahead and fix that while I'm at it. That was 3/8. Alright, we will have a line, a solid line, visible line here. We will have a visible line here. We will have a visible line here, and a visible line here. And we'll also have a center line here. Okay, I'm going to darken my bottom and my top of my object, or my right side. Okay, well, one of the ways we can transfer these measurements, and be careful if you're using a T-square, that you're holding your T-square firmly against your board. Create you a miter line. That's what your line is called, and we're going to use it to transfer a measurement so we don't have to measure again. All right, I'm going to, rather than draw them solid, I'm just going to mark points. Alright, this will be the blocked out, and I just drew that too dark again because it's not solid all the way from front to back. That's the blocked out size of our object. Alright, we can transfer this, which we know it's going to be on this edge and this edge, and its depth is here. So I'll mark that one, and that one, and that is my top corners. Go back and darken these. And then I would need to do a little erasing. I'm going to take time to get my eraser shield out and do this perfect. Okay. We would have a line going all the way across the object from here, and back there. These 2 points would make a line. Up here on top. Okay, next I'm going to transfer my measurements here and my outside edges here, which is here. Which would be this point and this point. And then I can create my angle for my front edge. Alright, I'm going to transfer my center line up lightly, and then I'm going to find the center of this, which half of 2 1/4 is 1 1/8. I will lightly draw in me a line here. Then using my circle template, I'm going to find my center and draw this in on the left side like so. And you would need to go back and darken these edges, erase these lines. And again, I'm not getting my circle template out, or my eraser shield right now. This would be a center line. And can't see anything that I've missed. So I think we have drawn finger guide figure 454. Hope this was some help.